If I got half a penny every time he said smoking these meats, we'd have the same net worth. Actually, he says it 15 times. If you had half a penny for each time, you'd have 7.5 cents. Mark Zuckerberg has a net worth of $72.7 billion. Therefore, you wouldn't have the same net worth. My dude, it's called a joke. By the way, those are totally human eyes. Totally. Hey everyone, Nobles here, and welcome back to r/IAmVerySmart. Let's get started. So, you better watch out because we have a coding genius and a master businessman. You might think that. At my level though, I can get through most any interview. The thing about me is, I can do math, like real math, meaning things like control theory or multivariate statistics, anything but friggin' algebra. And when I say algebra, I mean real algebra, like Galois theory. So when I go to interviews, the job is basically already mine. I think what you mean is, the interview process is meant to weed out dumbasses like yourself who lack in basic self-control. See? I don't behave like this at interviews or at work ever. Plus, I can pretty much solve any problem. It just takes a few moments of thinking. We have a master thinker over here. Moreover, if the occasion calls for it, I can even talk to people as well. Wow! Better than any sales or business person, in fact. I know this is hard for a complete and total stooge such as yourself to comprehend, but sometimes the person you dislike is arrogant for a good reason. No, you don't have to be arrogant. You can be smart without having to be arrogant. Please, just stop bragging. WTF, he said to me, I read more code than most people read in 2 weeks, so my brain and memory should be top level, and I'm 24 turning 25, XD. I'm in my prime, and me in prime. My left lobe activity is high. He also said emotional regulation is done there. He asked me if I'm ever really mad. I said no, or I control it perfectly. Then he said, I understand now how you know so much, since I just have to read once and I understand and visualize it already. Most people need longer. By the way, this person said all this in the span of 2 minutes. My goodness. Now hey, look at me, I'm so smart because I can fluently speak English. I literally can't listen to other people speak because they're so terrible at it. I refuse to even watch YouTube. It's either a ton of edits with cuts or... yeah, so like if you, Bitcoin is in this triangle, right? Then you'll be up. Why the hell don't you know English, dipshit? Nobody speaks like me because it seems nobody even knows English. Clowns. Yes, because apparently only one person in the entire world can speak proper English. Wait a minute, is this Andrew Tate? Wow. And for this next one, try again. r/IAmVerySmart. That subreddit is for mocking low IQ individuals who think they're smart. I'm objectively smarter than 99% of the population. Try again. No, I'm pretty sure this subreddit is exactly for people like you. People who brag about being smarter than 99% of people. Oh god, I'm so drunk that I don't know if I'm writing about Pani's thinking of Marx and Feuerbach's role of philosophy, or my argument that the Leninist-Stalinist version of communism is a distortion of Marxism, or my understanding of being in time is for me an essay in human understanding. And you can just see all of the books and all of the notes this person is writing, and the one person who reacted by laughing. By the way, that wasn't the only person who's stacking books on books, because we have another avid reader who is gathering up my many books I own on various topics and genres, and the ones I'm still reading. I think this sets me far apart in any debate I've noticed, whether I'm arguing opinion or basing arguments on fact. Along with the many documentaries I watch and my avid news reading of what's going on around the world, most people these days do not read books whatsoever, and it's quite obvious. and they certainly don't watch social or historical documentaries heavily, if at all. And reading the news is something of yesterday times. The funny thing is, the most ignorant or dumb of these type of folks will use faulty excuse-laden political reasons to not engage in all three. And ironically, such may be their journey to enlightenment, or better yet, a possible change of paradigm. I found when I try to engage these types of folks at their, underline that, most basic level of debate, it's hard for them to answer to my shots of argument or questioning, or they disengage if able and continue with their abhorrent ignorance, passing it on to the demographic around them, creating a larger group of ignorance. The irony, few will read this laughing emoji. Well, I just did, so consider me one of the few. What is the point you're trying to make here? You're smart because you read, I guess? Oh, and now we go to the Reddit comments for this next one. How cute, but you forgot the relevant context. My own IQ results, of course. Shall I also DM you my Mensa acceptance letter and membership details? Oh yes, please do. It just means more content for this sub. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, then why not like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell? Now we have an individual on a fixed mindset. Study? Study? What is this study of which you speak? In all honesty, I don't tend to study apart from just completing assignments to get the credit. If I absolutely need to focus and crunch down on the 10,000 words in 24 hours deadline, I have to turn all notifications off on my phone and have it completely silent. If I feel like I don't quite understand something, which is very rare by the way because of my huge brain, I'm always able to resolve it by diving deeper, because a true intellectual digs deep. Why are we learning this? Why is it important? Why? If there is no satisfactory answer, the subject is meaningless and I don't need to spend any more time on it. Cue the debate with the teacher on why it's worthless. This dude probably tries to own their teacher with facts and logic, while the teacher's probably like, please just submit the assignment. Well, if there is a satisfactory answer, it should work as the basis for the topic, and everything stripped away by the questions should be added back one at a time, keeping in mind that base, and it should make complete sense. But again, study, but why? Isn't studying just achieved by doing the given assignments? If you can do those, the information should already be in your head and you should already know all the material. Well, unfortunately, not everyone has a genius level of memory like you, so they have to study. Oddly enough, diving deeper is a good way to study. So I don't even know what this dude is on about. What a bunch of clowns pointing things out. God, I hate people sometimes. Only a true genius like me can understand the true meaning of this video. This dude's gotta be trolling. Has to be. And now we have a person who has never seen an intelligent iPhone user ever in his entire life. Believe me, bro, I've never seen an intelligent iPhone person ever in my life or in a conversation. Which I guess conversations don't count as part of your life now. Reminds me of that one 50-year-old looking 12-year-old mental age woman that said if the guy I'm on a date with has an Android phone, that's an instant red flag. That's not really representative of all iPhone users though. Like why? Because you feel uncomfortable to see someone with a brain instead of a marshmallow like yourself? And this only goes for those who have not used an Android phone in their entire life. People who have used both know their pros and cons and choose based on their need, which is Android 80% of the time. This comment makes you no better than the people who think that Android phones are red flags. I don't know why people care this much about what phones other people have. And this next person is rambling about physics that means absolutely nothing. It annoyed me and my math teachers in high school too. I couldn't show my work the way they wanted, and half the time even I didn't know how I got it, but there were a lot of 50% grades on math tests. All right answers, no or incorrect work shown. Pretty much everything but geometry/trig where the formulas are written in stone. I had difficulty because I could take all kinds of shortcuts in my head. Things just clicked. Very frustrating to lose marks for that. And another comment from the same individual. Ironically, I'm close with my cousin who's a theoretical and experimental physicist, and he knows all the math, obviously, but the ideas we have are all on the same wavelength. I've even thrown him curveballs about quantum theories just from what I can visualize. I didn't expect that at all. It was regarding overlapping entanglements, possibly letting us bypass the Heisenberg principle and observe both quantum outcomes simultaneously. Yeah, my nerd dial is at 11, lol. It's frustrating to be restrained by rigid systems. Not everyone's brains work the same. Honestly, I would hope not everyone's brain works the same. We kinda need people who work in different ways, you know. And these people are always obsessed with quantum this, quantum that. OP replies, I think because quantum is newish physics and people hear it as that fancy new stuff that's taught at university, meaning A, people assume they won't understand it, and B, I'm very smart people decide to use A to their advantage. Oh, here we go again with the Twitter blue check marks. Sorry, X blue check marks. That sounded like it made 0 sense. Thanks, Elon. Unpopular opinion, but I really hate music. I've also found that the dumber somebody is, the more meaningful and important they find music to be. Ah yes, those silly people who enjoy music. True intellectuals only listen to the sound of silence. Wait, you're telling me that's a song too? Ah shit. For this next one, someone replied to this person with 3 nerd emojis. It looks like 3 yellow smiley faces with glasses. Ah yes, what an intelligent, astute observation. That is face value. Anything else involves some level of assumption which has evidenced your suggestion you do not grasp. It could mean you think I see things very clearly, as glasses tend to improve vision, and that I am happy. It could mean that you are stating I cannot see things clearly and thus require glasses to do so. It could mean that you fall prey to social stereotypes of highly intelligent people wearing glasses, which if so, you could be stating that I am a nerd, thus displaying that you are a bully who picks on people different than yourself. Or that you find me highly intelligent and knowledgeable, and that I am laughing at the people who feel a need to comment at my posts because they don't like them. If you were going with the latter, you'd be correct. And thank you for the compliment. My dude had to go calculate every single possibility of what those 3 nerd emojis could possibly mean. I would think an intellectual would figure it out much quicker than that, but I guess not. And yes, I am a grown adult, and therefore do not assume what is meant by a little emoji face, nor know what the social standard is for such, as my communications with others is usually in a more professional and educated environment. If you can't understand this, even after it is explained several times, and you do not actually care to effectively, and it gets cut off, regarding nah for real you can't be this stupid, please explain how I am stupid, and why I should take your word on this matter, in lieu of Mensa, numerous IQ tests, and the schools which gave me my degrees. You appear to have an inflated sense of self-importance. Funny how you're saying that out of all people. And by the way, regarding seriously you talk all smarty pants yet you don't notice how idiotic you act. People perceiving another's method of communication, it is writing, not talking in this case by the way, as smarty pants is overall and in general suggestive of, if not indicative of, that individual's intellectual incapacity to grasp it and or lack of education. Thank you for the info about yourself. Honestly, I don't think real intellectuals would spend this much time arguing with people online. It's just not worth it. We go to Discord for this next one. Very revolutionary with that marvelous memorandum. Wow. I couldn't agree more with this individual's astute observation. Their insightful perspective truly resonates, highlighting the wisdom behind their words. Indubitably. And Silent Public 6308 made a poll asking if people thought they were smarter than their friend group. This was the only response. Yes, however, that isn't to say my friend group isn't smart. My friends all have IQs over 130, however my IQ is of 142, making me much, much smarter than those so-called friends. And where did you get that IQ? From a random online test? And now we may have the smartest Counter-Strike player of all time. My IQ is 150 plus and I hate it. I think more of my thoughts are way too complex and deep for the average person to understand. I love being that smart, but I also hate it because you normies never understand my theories and the complexity of my thoughts when I try to explain it. It's hard AF, even for me to put into words what goes through my mind. It's so deep, complex, and detailed that no human language could possibly be used to explain it, and when I try to put it into words, I look dumber than the average person because brain language is too complex to be translated, and that makes me look low IQ autistic guy when I'm actually over y'all. I'm misunderstood. It's kinda like giving a toy car to Hamilton to make him show his driving abilities. He's gonna look stupid. I'm Hamilton. His driving skills are the complexity of my thoughts, and the toy car is English, or any other language. There's no way to make any of you understand what goes through my supercomputer. I operate at a higher level. Sometimes I wish I were dumber so I could enjoy life more like the average ignorant person. This person is so intelligent, by the way, that this entire thing was one sentence. I'm telling you, the dude's brain is too fast. Unlike us normies. And this next one has a degree. They don't need social skills. People very often identify me as someone trying to sound smart or elitist. I don't think being elitist hinders talent. I think it hinders their happiness, but that's besides the point. I've learned to take sounding smart as a compliment that I sound smart. I'm articulate and spend much of my time in deep, analytical thought. I'm telling you, these intellectuals love to dig deep. My impulse to share my ideas is part of me. I am also very open to shifting my ideas and okay making mistakes. I've been wrong many times, but as a highly trained theoretical physicist, being wrong is more enlightening than being right. So I don't know, I'm just talking, but I feel elitists can still have talent, but no one is obligated to like them personally. What do you mean by gatekeeping? Curious? Yes, people who sound elitist can actually be smart, but the problem is that they're sounding elitist. People are not going to listen to you if you're always pretentious. And the reply, I didn't say you sound smart, just pretentious. If you're so smart, I'm sure you can figure out what gatekeeping is and how it pertains to your post. Well, we all can't know everything. I'd say 21 years in theoretical physics and neuroscience, degrees in both, that spends his days attempting to unify physics gives me at least a bonus point or two in intelligence. I'd be willing to investigate the definition of intelligence and whether or not we feel I match that definition if that is really your interest. Interesting. And for this last one, this guy from China on Post Crossing, a website where you exchange postcards, I got physical while reading this. In the eyes of my elders, I am a crazy child, and in the eyes of my peers, I am the best among them, best in quotes. I love to travel, and travel can make people think. Whenever I have the opportunity, I will run in the mountains, lakes, and seas, and explore this moving blue planet with my footprints. Because of love, pack my bags, and leave the hustle and bustle of the city, and find my true self in nature. So far, I have successfully climbed to 5,681 meters above sea level. Well, that's certainly quite specific, but I guess you can check the elevation of specific mountains, right? In addition, I'm a flight enthusiast, and the number of flights per year can exceed 90% of the passengers in China. Usually, I collect all kinds of flight-related things. My dream is to take various airlines and different aircraft models from various countries to travel around the world to various surprising destinations. The world is bigger than our vision can hold, and no matter how slowly people go fast, they don't see more. What is truly precious is what is thought and seen, not speed. We seem to have regrets in any choice we make, and life is like a multiple choice question and an objective question, but some questions have no answers, so you can't find them. Well, if life was like a multiple choice question, you'd need a Scantron sheet the size of China. I believe in wonderful fate. Seeing you here, you must be very surprised how a 21-year-old boy can have such profound knowledge and vision. Because of the continuous exploration and knowledge reserve, I always stand out in the crowd, so I hope you will do the same. always keep loving, warm and pure all your life, reluctant to give up love and freedom. By the way, when he talks to you, he does it in a dismissive tone. I'm a heritage speaker of Mandarin, and I learned how to write it on my own. Spent hours writing a postcard for him only to be low-key dismissive and say, "Your font is cute, you must be girly at heart," rolls eyes. Well, I hope you enjoyed this showcase of the smartest individuals on the internet. So, I'd like to thank all of my channel members, especially Amethyst Phoenix, Crantus McBiscuitbowl, Dark Garden, Jade Demby, Catalan Cormendi, Mike Hawk, Hold Up, Nightcrawler, Stormcloud the Wolf, VicMeister1999, Zoe Horsham, and Miranda. You can join in the link below, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell, and comment what's on your mind.